कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सखगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सखगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रहम् अनादिरादिर् गोविंदा सर्वकारण कारणम्। Hare Krishna. By Lord Sri Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished the 8th chapter yesterday, and now we are going to start 9th chapter, the most confidential knowledge. For those who are joining for first time today, I welcome you all, and I'm going to cover slokas from all the chapters, so that way you won't miss anything. So in the 9th chapter, so this is titled as the most confidential knowledge. This is Raja Guhyam. Krishna himself says that this is Raja Guhyam. This is the king of secrets. Because this knowledge cannot be explained to anyone who are envious of Krishna. Who don't believe in Krishna, that means who are envious of Krishna. The reason why we don't believe in Krishna, some people, not some, in general, like people who are not devotees, who are not believing in Krishna, because they don't accept, because Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Because in this material world, due to ahankara, we also want to become like Krishna. That is the main problem. All of us, we want to lord over everything. We want to become king of everything. We want everybody to listen to us. We want everything should happen as per our wishes. So that way we are so much attached to this material world, and we have so much of ahankara, that is false ego, false prestige in this material world. So that way we are not ready to accept. We are not ready to accept Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. And we are also very envious of Krishna. If someone is above us, if someone is above us, then we will naturally become envious. So that's what happens to the materialistic people. That's what happens to the demoniac people in this material world. So for such persons, this knowledge cannot be explained. So that's why this Bhagavad Gita is the most confidential knowledge. So the important qualification to study and understand Bhagavad Gita is to like Krishna, is to believe in Krishna. Otherwise, we will miss this knowledge. People sometimes talk for hours. They will give lectures for hours on philosophies, and they quote Bhagavad Gita slokas also. People will be quoting Bhagavad Gita slokas, but they don't give the credit to Krishna. They don't recognize Krishna at all. So they simply take Krishna out of the picture, and then you quote the slokas. That's not going to help us. We are not going to get the knowledge if we take Krishna out of Bhagavad Gita. How many times Krishna says that Mama, Me, Aham, Man, Mana. So you remember me. So how many times Krishna is all the time saying in Bhagavad Gita everything, especially in the 10th chapter when we start in the next chapter, in the 10th chapter, every sloka Krishna is going to say Aham, Aham, Aham like that. Adityanam Aham Vishnu. So Aham. So Ramaga Sastrabrata Aham. So Aham. Rudranam Sankarachasmi Asmi. So Senaninam Aham Skhandaga Aham. Dataham Vishwato Mukham Aham. So many times Krishna is saying that Aham, me, like that. So if we take Krishna out of the picture in this Bhagavad Gita, then we are not going to get the complete knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Because we understand from Bhagavad Gita that we are the soul, we are not the body. And we also understand from Bhagavad Gita that we are struggling very hard in this material world. But in order to get out of this struggle, in order to get ourselves freed from this material world, we have to believe in Krishna only. If we don't believe in Krishna, then we cannot get out of this material world. That's not going to be possible at all. So that's why Krishna is saying that this knowledge cannot be explained to anyone who are envious of me, who are not believing in me. So we are very fortunate. We believe in Krishna. That's why we are getting this knowledge. We are understanding this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. So for sure, it's very much guaranteed that we are going to free ourselves from this material bondage. It's going to happen. It's only time only matters. We don't know when it is going to happen, but it is going to happen in our life for sure. In this life, or next life, or many lives, we don't know. It all depends upon how soon we make progress, how quickly we forget everything in this material world, and how quickly we remember only Krishna all the time. Then it is going to be possible for us to get out of this material bondage. It's going to happen. There is no doubt about it at all. We are on the right path. We are making great progress, especially every day by studying this Bhagavad Gita, by studying all these slokas, by listening to Krishna. We are making great progress. This is definitely going to help us. So, but by Krishna's mercy, we are getting this opportunity. Now, as I say in every class, we need to now make use of this opportunity. And the best way of making use of this opportunity is to not only study ourselves this Bhagavad Gita, but bring as many devotees as possible into our class. Enroll as many devotees as possible. So that way, when we make aware, when we spread this opportunity to everyone, so then many devotees can study Bhagavad Gita. So that way, by Krishna's mercy, our knowledge in Bhagavad Gita also become very strong. Then we know, we'll be able to remember, we'll be able to quote the slokas in Bhagavad Gita about this world, about our life, about everything happens in our life. Each and every moment we will be able to relate. We'll be able to relate everything in our life with this Bhagavad Gita, with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So, we need to gain that weapon of detachment. So we need to give up attachment to this material world. That's going to be possible only by studying Bhagavad Gita. So that's why this is the most confidential knowledge and only devotees can understand. This knowledge can be revealed only to the devotees of Krishna. And this is the purest knowledge which is going to purify ourselves. Because we know how to act. Buddhiyukta jahatiha ube sukruta duskrute tasmad yogaya yujjasva yogaha karmasu kausalam. So buddhiyukta jahatiha. If we act with intelligence in this world, in this jagat, in this life, in this world, if we act with intelligence, buddhiyukta jahatiha ube sukruta duskrute. So in both happiness and distress, we should be acting with intelligence. That's what buddhiyukta jahatiha ube sukruta duskrute. So that way, if we are not disturbed by the results, whatever may be the results, whether it's an activity, sukriti or duskriti or whatever may be the results, but if we are using our intelligence, buddhiyukta jahatiha ube sukruta duskrite. So tasmad yogaya yujjasva yogaha karmasu kausalam. Therefore, you perform yoga. Tasmad yogaya yujjasva, by knowing the art of performing yoga. Yoga karmasu kausalam. Karmasu kausalam. Kausala means the art of performing our duty. So Krishna is teaching very much clearly in Bhagavad Gita about how to do our duty. Tyaktva karma pala sangam nityatripto nirasrayaga karmani abhipravrittopi naiva kinchit karoti saha. So we should give up attachment to the results. Tyaktva karma pala sangam nityatripto nirasraya. So always satisfied and without having any desires in this material world. Because we are already very happy. We are already enjoying unlimited enjoyment, unlimited happiness we are able to experience with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, by connecting with Krishna, by serving Krishna. So then Krishna is teaching us that if we are able to enjoy that kind of happiness, so that means we are having intelligence. Because if we have intelligence, then only we can get that kind of happiness. So that's why buddhi yukta jahatiga, buddhya yukta yaya partha, karmajam buddhi yukta hi. Many times Krishna is using the word buddhi and yukta together. Yukta means engaged in an action, doing an action, yukta, regulating, connected, everything. So yoga also is yukta. So buddhi yukta. Buddhi yukta means using our intelligence. So we can gain intelligence only by connecting ourselves with Krishna. Buddhirjnanam masammohaga samakshama satyam damasamaha sukham dukkham bhava bhavo bayam cha bayam eva cha ahimsa samata tushtigi tapodanam yaso yasaga Bhavanti bhava bhutana mattayeva pratak vidaham. Krishna is teaching us in the 10th chapter. So buddhi yukta, so buddhir jnanam asammohaga. So that buddhi and jnanam, that intelligence and knowledge, everything is coming from Krishna only. Mattayeva pratak vidaga. It's coming from me. So that way, only with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, if we connect with Krishna, if we serve Krishna, we are going to gain intelligence. And then if we use this intelligence, so what is the using intelligence? Using intelligence means controlling our mind. So making mind as our best friend. So that means our mind should not be bothered, our mind should not be agitated, it should not be disturbed by anything in this material world. We should be all the time connected only with Krishna. That means we should do everything only for Krishna. And every day a lot of things are happening in this world. It happened, so many things happened in the past. Everything became news. And people forget. And we won't remember everything all the time. And everything is stored in our brain, and we will forget everything in this material world. Even if you love someone too much, but after that person leaves, then after some time you will completely forget. But only person who is not at all leaving us, who will never leave us at any point of time, with whom if we fall in love with him, we are not going to lose him at all. Whereas in this material world, we can fall in love with many people, many different persons, and even dogs and all those things, pets and all those things, but everything we are going to lose. But Krishna, we are not going to lose. So that way, we should fall in love with Krishna with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So then Krishna is going to reveal all this knowledge to us. In the 10th chapter, first sloka, Krishna is saying that to Arjuna, that I am teaching you, Bhuya eva mahabaho sunume paramam vachaga yategam priyamanaya vakshyami hitakamya. So I am explaining to you for your benefit, because you are very dear to me. Priyamanaya. Priyamanaya means you are very dear to me, very dear to me. Priyamanaya vakshyami hitakamya. Hitakamya, for your benefit. I am explaining this to you for your benefit. Yategam vakshyami. So, Bhuya eva mahabago srunume paramam vasaga. So Paramam Vasaga, the ultimate words, ultimate knowledge. So that way Krishna loves us so much, and Krishna gives this knowledge to us for our benefit. So Krishna is giving this knowledge for our benefit. We are getting benefited from this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. We are able to liberate ourselves. We are able to free ourselves from the material modes of nature. We should not be attached to anything in this material way. Only Krishna. We should be attached only to Krishna. So that's why we are studying Bhagavad Gita every day. By understanding this Bhagavad Gita, that is going to happen. So just with this knowledge, like we are discussing about becoming a yogi, how we can become a yogi. Yogi means it is not that we leave everything, we throw away everything and renounce everything and become like a saint. That is not called yogi. That is not at all called yogi. In fact, when Krishna talks about sannyasa, that is a different thing. Renouncing everything, that is known as sannyasi. And that also Krishna is teaching us that, I have explained in the past, that sannyasa also Krishna is teaching us that just by merely renouncing the activities, that person is not a sannyasi. Sannyasi is a person who renounces the results of the activities, renounces the attachment to the results. And yogi is a person who is acting, who is performing the duties. So he is known as yogi. So who is acting, performing and doing all the duties, activities, karma, without any attachment to the results. So that's what is known as yogi, and he is also known as sannyasi. So that way, Sankhya Yoga Pratak Balaga Pravadanti Na Panditaga. So anyone who thinks that this renouncing the activities and performing the yoga, they are different. So Pratak Balaga means anyone who thinks that they are different, they are not Panditaga, they are not learner, they don't have knowledge. Because Ekam Sankyam Cha Yogam Cha Yapasyati Sapasyati. So Ekam Sankyam Cha Yogam Cha. So both sannyasa, that is renouncing, and performing the duty, both are same. One who is able to see that both are same. Ekam Sankyam Cha Yogam Cha Yapasyati Sapasyati. One who sees like this, he is actually seeing. That's what Krishna is saying. So Sannyasastu Mahabaho Dukkhamaptum Ayogataka. Yoga Yukto Munihi Brahma Nachirena Adhigacchati. So Sannyasastu Mahabaho. If we take the path of sannyasa, means renouncing everything, renouncing the activities. Krishna is teaching us that Sannyasastu Mahabaho Dukkhamaptum Ayogataka. Dukkham, distress. We are going to get distress. That's not the right path. That's not a good path. Even though both are same. But Krishna is teaching us that Sannyasastu Mahabaho Dukkhamaptum Ayogataka. Whereas Yoga Yukto Munihi Brahma Nachirena Adhigacchati. Whereas a person is Yoga Yukta. Yogi means a person who is engaged in Krishna's service. So that's what is called yogi, who is not attached to the results, who is able to detach from the material sense objects. So who is able to attach to Krishna and who is able to act, who is able to do a lot of activities in this world and doing everything for Krishna. That's why Yoga Yukto Munihi Brahma Nachirena Adhigacchati. Very quickly he will achieve Brahma. Brahman is Krishna's well. Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. So we'll again go to Brahman. So that's what we are understanding. Krishna's well is Brahman. In the 7th chapter also we studied. Krishna taught us very clearly. So Paragat Tasmat Bhavanyo Avyakto Vyaktat Sanatanaga Yasya Sarvesu Bhutesu Nasyatsu Navinasya. Then Krishna has said that, so that abode of mind, that is Brahman. So if anyone who comes there, Yam Gatva Na Nivartande Taddama Paramam Mama. Anyone who comes there, he will not come back again to this material world. That is my supreme abode. That's what Krishna is teaching. So Brahma Vido Janaha. So who will achieve Brahma, who know about Brahma. So Agnigi, Jodigi, Agaga, Suklaga, Sanmasa, Uttarayanam, Tatra, Prayata, Gachanti, Brahma Vido Janaga. So Gachanti Brahma Vido Janaga. So if Gachanti Brahma means we'll reach the Brahman destination. So that should be our destination. That should be our goal of life, going to Krishna's abode. So that means we should know about Brahman. Brahmavid means who is knower of this Brahman. So one who has the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, he is a Brahmavid. Sa Sarvavid. One who knows this entire Bhagavad Gita and who knows that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is Sarvavid. Sarvavid means he is the knower of everything. Brahmavid means he is the knower of Brahma. Yomam evam asamudo jnanati purushottamam sa Sarvavid. Sarvavid means he is the knower of everything. So knowing that Krishna is the Purushottama, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. So then we are going to go to Krishna's way. So in the 9th chapter, we are starting today successfully. In the 9th chapter, it has got 34 slokas. Each and every sloka, we are going to get so much of knowledge. So much. Krishna is going to teach us a lot and lot and lot. Because it is the most confidential knowledge. So in the first sloka itself, Krishna is saying, Sri Bhagavan Vacha Idam Tuthe Guhya Uttamam Pravakshyami Anasuyave Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam Yajnatva Mokshase Asubat Idam Tute Guhya Uttamam. Te, to you, today I am explaining Pravakshyami. Idam Tute Guhya Uttamam. Guhya Uttamam means the topmost knowledge. Guhyattamam. So basically it's Guhyattamam. There is the supreme confidential knowledge, the most confidential knowledge, Guhyattamam. That's what Guhya Uttamam. Idam Tute Guhyattamam Pravakshyami. I'm explaining to you because you are not envious of me. Anasuyave. You are not envious of me. That's why I'm explaining you today this most confidential knowledge. Idam Tute Guhya Uttamam Pravakshyami Anasuyave Jnanam Vijnana Sakitam. Both theoretical and practical knowledge. Jnanam Vijnana Sakitam. Yajnatva Mokshashe Asubat. By knowing this, you will be freed from the miseries of material existence, from the pains of material miseries. Yajnatva mokshashe asubha. So Krishna is continuously teaching this Bhagavad Gita, the topmost confidential knowledge. If you know this, we are freed from all miseries of material existence. Krishna also said the same way, Yajnatva mokshashe asubha, in one sloka in the 4th chapter. At that time Krishna said that, Kim karma Kimakarmeti kavayopi atra mokhitaha tatte karma pravakshyami yajnatva mokshashe asubhat. The same line. Yajnatva mokshashe asubhat. So that means even the learned persons, they don't know, they are confused about what is karma and what is akarma. Kim karma, kim akarmeti kavayopi atra mokhitaha. Tatte karma pravakshyami. So I am explaining to you, I shall explain to you what is karma. What karma is. Tatte karma pravakshyami yajnatva mokshashe asvad. Just by knowing that, you will be freed from the miseries of material existence. So here Krishna is again saying that jnanam vijnana sagadam yajnatva mokshashe asvad. In another place also Krishna is using the word jnanam, vijnanam and yajnatva. So Yajnatva, that word Yajnatva Krishna is using. But there he is not saying that Yajnatva Mokshashe Asubhat. Yajnatva Nega Bhuyo Anyadi Jnatavyam Avasisi. Jnanam Te Agamsa Vijnanam Idam Vakshyami Asechataka. In the 7th chapter, 2nd sloka, Jnanam Te Agamsa Vijnanam Idam Vakshyami Asechataka. So I am explaining to you both theoretical and practical knowledge completely. Asechataka. Yajnatva Neka Bhuyo Anyade Jnatavyam Avasisyade. By knowing this, there is nothing else is there for you to know in this way. So that way, if you just know this Bhagavad Gita, if you study and understand this Bhagavad Gita fully, there is nothing else is there for us to know. We will be freed from the miseries of material existence. So that's why this topmost confidential knowledge, Bhagavad Gita, is very, very important for us in our life. So we are very fortunate, Krishna's mercy, we are able to spend time every day, we are able to study Bhagavad Gita, and we are able to succeed in this effort. We are making good progress, excellent progress. Every day we are making great progress. Day by day, our knowledge in Bhagavad Gita is increasing. Everything is Krishna's causeless mercy. So we have successfully finished the first sloka in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. the most confidential knowledge. So now I will discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna. I'll hand over to Siva Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hello, Guruji. Thank you so much. Don't have any questions, but I see some new participants and I see a lot of devotees join. So I will unmute VP Manohar.
Yeah,
VP
I know.
Yeah. It's in detail, so it's very good and understanding.
Yes. That's what our goal. Our goal is to understand this Bhagavad Gita fully, each and every shloka. So it will help us to definitely get love towards Krishna, and we can actually free ourselves from the three modes of material nature.
Yeah.
So, from which place you are joining, Prabhu? Where are you from, Prabhu?
Hyderabad.
Oh, Hyderabad. Did
Yeah,
we start? Or this is the first time?
According to Arjuna's necessity or for all of us?
Different yogas?
According to Arjuna's necessity or for all of us?
As it's actually Krishna is teaching to Arjuna, and it's actually for all of us also, because Krishna wants to establish Dharma. That's why Krishna came here, and this Bhagavad Gita is the Dharma. This Bhagavad Gita is the yoga. This Bhagavad Gita is the Dharma. So here Krishna is teaching this Bhagavad Gita to all of us, but here Arjuna is asking questions. As far as Krishna is concerned, in the second chapter, from the sloka number 11 to 53, those 43 slokas, Krishna gave the complete knowledge what Arjuna needed. When Arjuna asked the question, you please tell me what is good for me. Yasreyasya nishchitam buruhitanmi. You tell me what is good for me. Krishna in those 43 slokas very clearly told what is good for him. But afterwards, Arjuna asked so many questions. That's why we are having different yogas. Karma yoga. The third chapter is karma yoga. So in the first sloka itself, in the third chapter, immediately what Arjuna is asking Krishna, Jayasi chet karmanaste matha buddhi janardana tatkim karmani gore mam niyojayasi kesava. So you are asking me to use intelligence, but at the same time you want me to fight in this ghastly warfare. Then how is it that is it using intelligence? So you are asking me to use intelligence, then you are asking me to fight here in this battle. So that is not the intelligent way. That's what Arjuna is telling Krishna. Then he is telling Krishna that, he is asking Krishna that, Vyamisreneva vakyena buddhi mohayasivame. You are asking me to use intelligence, but now my intelligence is bewildered. That's what Arjuna is telling Krishna. Buddhi mohayasivame. By your equivocal instructions, Vyamisreneva vakyena buddhi mohayasivame. Tathekam vada nischittyena sreyo akam apnyat. So you just tell me only one. Don't tell me two things. You are asking me to use intelligence, but you are also asking me to fight in this battle. So that way Arjuna is actually confused between. So that's why the Karma Yoga, the third chapter Karma Yoga, Krishna is teaching very clearly. So what is intelligence? Intelligence means doing our duty without expecting results. So that's what Krishna is teaching. Karmajam buddhi yuktagi palam tyaktva manisinaga. So in Karma Yoga, Krishna is teaching about palam tyaktva. So palam tyaktva means giving up the attachment to the results. So that's what is Karma Yoga. Do your duty, don't expect results. So that way, all these different yogas like Dhyana Yoga, controlling mind and everything, Bhakti Yoga, we call it as different yogas. They are all same only. They are all not different yogas. We should be doing everything. We should be doing Karma Yoga, we should be doing Jnana Yoga, studying Bhagavad Gita, and Dhyana Yoga, meditating, and Bhakti Yoga, doing devotional service to Krishna. All such things we will be doing. So that way, it's all because Arjuna asked excellent questions and Krishna is teaching. And of course, Krishna is doing this for our benefit also. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
I see a name, Annie Pepper. Annie Pepper, I'm unmuting you. You can talk with Guruji.
Thank you. This is my first time here. I'm in the United States in Boston, and I don't have any questions yet. I'm just getting so much out of just listening and learning right now.
Very nice, very nice. So thank you for joining. So you could join from the beginning. You could listen to my lecture.
No, I just discovered you yesterday, actually.
Oh, you joined yesterday, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember seeing you. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, very nice, very nice. So we are studying Bhagavad Gita. So you heard about Bhagavad Gita? You studied Bhagavad Gita earlier?
Yes, I have taken some classes, but there's obviously an
Hatha
And
Yoga.
yeah, joke, and whether it helps in our physical exercises and others, like what we are doing every day, most of us pranayams, and
Asking
does
this.
it help in that?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, thank you for asking this question, Prabhu. It's very much helps. Definitely, definitely. It's especially Hatha Yoga is like asanas. Yoga. Normally we call it as yoga. Yoga means this Hatha Yoga only. We call it as yoga. But definitely we need to maintain our body very well. Actually, if you want to control our mind, we need to have a very healthy body. If we are not healthy, then how are we going to control our mind? So health is very important. That's why Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita that we should control our dieting, control our eating, control our sleeping, everything. Yuktahara viharasya yukta chestasya karmasu yukta swapna babodasya yogo bhavati dukkha. So ahara, swapna, that is eating and sleeping, everything should be controlled. Very Krishna very clearly saying that if one eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or sleeps too little, there is no way he can control the mind. That's what Krishna is saying. Na ati asnatastu yogosti na chaikantam anasnataka na cha adiswapna silasya jagrato naiva charja. So that way maintaining a healthy body is very, very important. So that is possible only by controlling our dieting and eating and sleeping, everything. And of course, this Hatha Yoga, that is especially like pranayama and Surya Namaskara, these two things, if we are able to do every day, daily, that's going to help us a lot. Because definitely, yeah, for your question, Prabhu, it is very much needed. In fact, I don't know, I don't have time. Otherwise, I want to teach these things. Maybe in the future, when I get some time, I will make some videos doing how to do this Surya Namaskara and how to do this pranayama, the steps actually. So then I definitely recommend all the devotees to do that on a daily basis, because that's going to relieve all our stress. Relax, first of all, relax and relieve our stress. So then we can focus more. We can control our mind very easily. We can focus more on Krishna. So our body will become very flexible, and it's very much. Yeah, for your question, I think you understand the answer, correct, Prabhu? Ranjit Prabhu?
Yes, yes, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
I am unmuting Hina.
To get that realization, I actually got this experience actually. So I know. So once you get this experience, you will lose the fear of death.
Yes, Prabhu.
So it is 100% true. We are not the body. So today's class, I am understanding that, knowing more and more about Krishna and the things in that Bhagavad Gita. Thank you very much for you, Ruji, and Shiva sir also. People are doing great job. Thank you for this.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. All of us will go to Krishna. There is no doubt, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
I am unmuting Manikandan Nambisan.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I hope your connection.
Today I would like to ask two things.
Yes,
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Guruji?
very nice. Very clear. Very clear.
Actually, Arjuna is the symbol of we common people, I think. Is it true, Guruji? Arjuna is the representative of these human beings. Is it right?
Yes, Prabhu, we can take that way only, because whatever Krishna knowledge Krishna gave to Arjuna, it is very much relevant. It's very much knowledge for us also. So we are all like Arjuna only. We are all struggling in this material way, like Arjuna. So you can definitely take that way, Prabhu. There is nothing wrong. But it's all Krishna's mercy. So this all happened. So because we need to be very thankful to Arjuna also, because Sanjaya says at the end, Kesava Arjuno Punyam. So I'm able to hear. I could hear the samvadam. So samvadam means the equivocal instruction between Kesava Arjuna. So that way, definitely it is. We can take that way. We all should consider ourselves like Arjuna. But one good thing is that now, since Arjuna has asked all the questions, so that way we will not get any more questions. Actually, we will, when we understand all the questions asked by Arjuna and understand all the answers given by Krishna, that means we know everything. Then we don't have to.
Yeah,
you know, all our questions are answered in this Bhagavad Gita.
Thank you. One more thing is, Guruji. Actually, I am really loving the way you sing that Brahma Sangita. Can you send it by WhatsApp or the song and also the lessons I require actually? By sending the WhatsApp group or any.
Yes, I will send it today, Prabhu. Today, that's what I told like Hina Mataji also. So I will in that itself you can go through that and
Guruji, when you are singing that Brahma Sangita, actually that song has got a soothing effect. I am really telling you from my heart that when I hear that song, that reaches in our heart and it gives us a soothing effect. This is what I found from that Brahma Sangita.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. It is so much. It is. In fact, you are very much true, Prabhu. In fact, I used to do every lecture. I used to do in the past cycle when I was teaching. But you are right, very much. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
We need to. If I send it to you in WhatsApp and YouTube, everything, Prabhu, you can actually listen to every day. We should listen, Prabhu. Every day we should listen to. It's very, very nice, Prabhu. Very nice.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I need to connect you and Arun Anand Kumar Prabhu also. Maybe you can discuss more and figure it out how you can bring. I think today Jitesh Prabhu joined today. I saw him during the time of lecture, but he is not there now. But we will plan to identify more devotees in Calicut, Prabhu. So we will.
Notes I follow your classes at daily Zoom. So today onwards I effort more on this one. Sir.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, you can go through this every day and again. See, this is these slokas we should actually know very well. We should memorize. We should understand, because this is the knowledge Krishna is giving us. Because it's very easy to carry ourselves carried over in this material world with so many material things. Actually, Prabhu, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge only is going to help us. In fact, chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is a very important way to control our mind. But the studying Bhagavad Gita also is it will have a similar effect, because you are directly listening from Krishna. So you are directly listening to what the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is telling us. So yeah, please continue studying this, Prabhu. Definitely, by Krishna's mercy, we will be able to do more service to Krishna, Prabhu, with this knowledge.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. No, yeah, you are very much true. That's what I always tell, that this Bhagavad Gita should be considered as the complete Gita. You should not be picking one sloka here and there That's why our goal is to study Bhagavad Gita fully, but that's why every day one sloka. But I'm actually covering slokas from different chapters every day, because each and every sloka is connected with other slokas from different chapters. So that way, when you listen to that, you will find out Prabhu, my way of teaching Bhagavad Gita. Then yeah, we can discuss if any questions are there.
Okay, so I'll go at 7 o'clock every morning.
Yes.
Thank
Prabhu.
you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji. Your name Raj.
Sorry, I don't know exactly how to pronounce. So is it like it is promoted in Bhagavad Gita or any spiritual texts in Hinduism, or it is misunderstood?
Varna is not the so-called caste system what we are having it, Prabhu. This Varna is actually, Krishna says that Chaturvarnya Maya Srishtam. So I created these 4 Varnas. Chaturvarnya Maya Srishtam. Guna Karma Vibhagasaka. So based on Guna Karma, based on the activities everyone does based on the gunas, 3 modes of material nature. So based on the 3 modes of material nature, gunas, everyone has got their own swabhavas. So based on their swabhava jena kaunteya. So in the 18th chapter, Krishna is teaching us that based on this swabhava only, these 4 varnas are created actually. So that way, we need to understand that they are not like this. It's not by birth. Today, what we are talking about, this caste system, is basically based on the birth. That is not correct. So it's only guna karma. In the 18th chapter, 41, sloka number 41, Krishna says that Brahmana Kshatriya Visham Sudranam Chaparantapa Karmani Pravibhaktani Swabhava Prabhavair Gunaihi. So Swabhava Prabhavair Gunaihi. So that Swabhava is based on the gunas. That's what Swabhava Prabhavair Gunaihi. So based on the Swabhava, you can actually divide the people into 4 categories. There is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaisya, Sudra. So that's what yesterday I explained, I think in the English class only I remember. So the disc profiling, somebody asks about the management yesterday. So you remember that, Prabhu? So, so disc profiling, this dominance, influence, steadiness, and the compliance. So there is dominance is Kshatriya, and steadiness is Brahmana. Influence is Vaisya, steadiness is Brahmana, and compliance is Sudra. So this disc profiling is based on our swabhavas. So that's why all the major industries everywhere they use this actually. Their employees, they divide them into 4 categories, and accordingly they will assign them the duties. That's what Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita. You do based upon your swabhava, you do your swadharma. For everyone there is a swadharma. Our swadharma is based on whether we are a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaisya, or Sudra. But whether we are a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaisya, or Sudra is based on our swabhava. It is not by birth. So that way we need to understand this caste system is not there in Bhagavad Gita. But everywhere, if you see a group of people, definitely you can put them in one of these categories. That is possible, very much possible. So because there is already there in our swabhava. So that's why Krishna is teaching about it. So you understand that, Prabhu? Hare Krishna?
Yes, Guruji. So it's misunderstood most of the time outside, right?
Bhagavad Gita itself is science. So this should be taught in each and every school and college as a science, as a subject. But that was not done. But we will do it. We will do our job. Krishna is giving us an opportunity to study Bhagavad Gita and understand as it is. That's why Srila Prabhupada wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is. Our goal is to study each and every sloka as Krishna says. And it's very straightforward. There is no need for any interpretation. And everything is very simple language. The Sanskrit used in Bhagavad Gita by Krishna is the very, very simple language. Very easy language actually. Even though Sanskrit, other Puranas and all, if you read, it will be very difficult to understand. But in Bhagavad Gita, it's very simple, very easy. So, yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji. Yeah, Guruji. Totally. Thank you.
Thank you.
And also some part of 8th.
and now 9th chapter is started. Thank you, sir, for guiding. And now I can go through Bhagavad Gita and understand, like not a whole, but some part of the sloka. It's like for me, I'm liking it, and it's a good beginning for me. So, sir, is there anything like we can start like sequential? We should start with.
There's nothing like this chapter is important like that. You can study from whichever chapter you want to study, but sloka is need to study this totally. So it is only 7 hours, not more than that. That's why we are sticking only to Bhagavad Gita only, because we don't have time to go through other Srimad Bhagavatam. In fact, it will be very nice if you are able to find time to read Srimad Bhagavatam yourself. Our love towards Krishna will increase like anything. But this 18 chapters, 700 slokas, we need to study everything completely. Prabhu. There is really we cannot say that top 108 slokas are top. Not like that, Prabhu. It's all these slokas. Everything is coming from Krishna, Prabhu. Everything, all this knowledge which is coming from Krishna is so much for us. It gives us so much. So yes, Prabhu. So that way, you read all the chapters, everything, Prabhu. So that way you can study. But if you want to memorize, then you can start with some small chapters. You can quickly memorize, like the 12th chapter or 15th chapter or even 7th chapter and all. You can easily quickly memorize. Like 9th chapter also, 34 slokas. In fact, when I memorized this 9th chapter was the first chapter, I memorized it completely actually. So then I went through first chapter, second chapter like that. So yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, sir. Okay, I understand. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji.